Hey guys, welcome to my second Paris Jungle Kingdom guide. Today we have Kayn. About a month ago, we did Viego, and after that, it was highly recommended and suggested we do Kayn. So if you guys want to suggest and ask for a specific champion that you want, make sure to go in the comments and ask for the champion you guys really want to see, and we'll make sure to respond and do the appropriate guide for that champion. But alright guys, let's jump into the actual Kayn guide. I'm excited. So what I first want to start off with is how strong is Kayn overall in the current meta. I would say right now Kayn is around a 7.5 out of 10. He is pretty much an A tier champion. He's always very solid. He's always going to be really good. But what makes Kayn, sometimes suboptimal is how his early game is sometimes not too clear, and that he struggles really having consistency from that weak early game. The thing is, even though when it's not a Kayn meta, he will always be able to do his job once he passes that early game threshold. As Red Kayn, you're going to be able to be really annoying, tanky, heal, ult, CC everyone, go through walls, just be really a nuisance. And when you're Blue Kayn, you're going to be able to one-shot weak people, you're going to one-shot all the squishies, you get 2-3 items. Even if you're behind the curve, you'll still be able to one-shot everyone. So no matter what, as long as you can get past the early game with Kayn, you're going to be really threatening, you're going to be really powerful. Make sure to choose the right form though. Hey, I'm perryjg, former pro player for Dignitas, rank 2 in North America, and rank 33 on the Korean ladder. I've helped hundreds of students climb faster, play smarter, and finally understand how to win in the jungle. I have created a new program called the Jungle Kingdom, in which you get daily group coaching sessions, in-depth VOD reviews, and a personalized improvement tracker built to level up your game every single day. Whether you're stuck in gold or aiming for a higher elo, there's a seat waiting for you in the Jungle Kingdom. Make sure to join as soon as possible before prices increase. I'll see you guys in the Jungle Kingdom. Our overall strengths on Kayn would be really how fast his early game clear is, how good he can at invade, and how he can do multiple things on Kayn. You can go Red Kayn, Blue Kayn, you have a lot of different choices. Now the catch with his good clear speed early and his good invading is that he's overall weak in fights, so you have to be very tactical and smart about how you choose to fight on Kayn. Before you guys decide to pick up Kayn, I want you to consider these few weaknesses that Kayn has. Pretty much Kayn is a really form-dependent champion. Not only are you really weak in the early game, you're also pretty much useless until you get that form. Whether you're going for Red or Blue Kayn, it's like, damn, we're weak, and it's hard to get form, so we need form to be strong, but how do you do that when you're weak? Here's the thing, if you're against a really strong early skirmisher, if you're against someone who's just going to beat you up in the jungle, invade you, or you have weak laners, or the game's really difficult because people are inting, you will struggle to get form, you will struggle to survive early game, and those are the hardest games for Kayn, and that's why Kayn is pretty difficult to play and pick up. If you're not solid with the early game, you will struggle. So, the catch with Kayn, my recommendation is make sure you perfect your early game and you have all the early game theory down. You're pathing, you're playing safe, you're playing smart, you're giving camps if you need to, you're giving up positions if you have to. We'll talk about trading a bit later. Another big weakness that Kayn has is, well, we want our form. Okay, the problem with getting our form is your ganks are not that strong either. You have to be very creative with how you use your flanks, how you use walls, how you use your Q, how you use your E. You need to be able to dodge Fog of War and come from a perfect angle for your ganks to work. So those are some things to think about. If you want to pick up Kayn, that's what I would consider. Alright guys, so let's talk about the investment necessary into mastering a champion like Kayn. The first thing I want to address is how hard is this champion really on a scale from 1 to 10. His blue form is around an 8 difficulty and his red form is around a 7 difficulty. So in general, Kayn is not that easy of a champion. The blue form is an assassin style, so you have to be very smart, patient, and team fighting as an assassin is commonly very hard for people to master and understand because, you don't know what angle you're coming from, you don't know who your target is, you don't know how strong you really are, but you need to be able to fight in order to win games. Team fighting is how you win. Here's the thing about Red Kayn is it is a bit easier because you can face tank spells, Q in, W in, ult at the end to save yourself, Q again, heal. So you're definitely not as punished as hard because you're tankier, you have CC in your kit, and you're strong in the team fights. The thing is, it's still not as straightforward as, let's say, a champion like Amumu. You guys know I love Amumu. It's not going to be as straightforward as a champion like that. Now brings the question of how many games until you're actually proficient on this champion. And I'd say it takes you around 50 to 100 games per form. So you're looking at anywhere from 100 to 200 games total. This champion is not the easiest. It's closer towards an OTP champion, if anything. But if you really enjoy the champion when you pick it up, it's well worth committing to because of how this champion will always be strong no matter what the meta is. The thing about Blue Kayn is you really need to learn how to adapt to the assassin playstyle, and it's a very unique playstyle. You're not playing Zed, Kiana, all these different assassins, even Rengar, Kha'Zix, Evelynn, they have a different, unique playstyle to them, unique assassin playstyle. The assassin playstyle for Kayn is poking while you're also abusing walls, you're abusing movement speed, you're abusing a lot of different things. But a big thing is the poke assassin playstyle. It's very interesting. It's the poke, picks, be mobile, look for side picks. There's a lot of different things to learn on the assassin side of things. And for Red Kayn, you're really going to be looking to push your limits and make sure you're treading on thin ice, even though it's really difficult to do that. It's really risky. You're going to put yourself at 100 HP in these fights, but save your ultimate, save your Qs, save your spells. You're pretty much playing a game of how much damage can I take and still not die while healing so I can be annoying and a nuisance in the fight. And you need to make sure you're not just ulting the moment you get panicked or get scared. Know your limits. It takes a lot of time to truly understand that. The type of player who really wants to pick up this champion is someone who wants to play multiple playstyles, wants to be able to fly around the map, invade aggressively without getting punished, use your ultimate to kind of help you out no matter what the circumstance is. The big thing is you want to be able to adapt to different game states. That's Kayn. Kayn loves to adapt. So if you're the person who's like, oh, I had this plan, but actually I'm completely down to do this, or I'm down to change things up, I'm down to spice things up, Kayn is definitely the champion for you. I think a big thing is, like, if you like being mobile with Shadow Kayn, 80% of my games I go Shadow Kayn, I'll be honest. 80% of my games, Shadow Kayn, I love Shadow Kayn. If you like being mobile and flying around the map, seriously, you should pick up Kayn. So the general style of this champion, Kayn, he really is like a rat, I would say. He's like, not in a sense of Twitch, but Kayn is like super duper annoying. Shadow Kayn is annoying, Blue Kayn is annoying. He's slippery, he's hard to kill, he goes through walls, he disappears. You literally can chase Kayn across the entire map, you still probably won't kill him. Kayn is the master of being a rat and just hiding in your walls, and like literally you cannot catch him, you cannot find him because he has a bunch of different exit routes, a bunch of different paths that he can escape from, and it's like, man, I can set up 10 traps here for this dumb rat, and I still can't catch him. That's why, like, if you want to play the style of a rat, you can play Kayn. I love this style. This is how I first hit Challenger, just being a nuisance, being a stupid rat, and then you drop 20 kills because people get frustrated, they don't know how to deal with you. Honestly, the style, though, is like, you're going to be an engage champion, but you're also going to be a poke champion. So you really, back to the different type of multiple ways to play the game. That's what Kayn really is about. Alright, let's talk about red Kayn runes. So we're going to go Conquer, Triumph, Haste into Last Stand. It's really straightforward. You're going Conquer, you're going Triumph, very straightforward Bruiser runes, and then you're going to go for the Haste, not the Alacrity, because although a lot of Bruisers go Alacrity, on red Kayn you're not auto-attacking. You are looking to use your spells more frequently. And Last Stand is generally just good on Bruisers who use their HP and who go lower, because you're going to get that max damage gained at 30% health, so when you are low, you'll do even more damage. Generally, that's how red Kayn wants to play. And then for secondary tree, we're going to go for the Magical Footwear and Cosmic Insight. Pretty straightforward. The Footwear is just going to get you that 10 extra move speed that helps you fight, helps you land more Qs, helps you get better angles in these fights. It's also free value in terms of gold, which Kayn doesn't really need free boots, or doesn't need to buy boots in the early game anyway. Kayn's always looking for that extra gold advantage, which Magical Footwear does for him, and having that flash and the smite up earlier. The big reason why Cosmic Insight is so broken is because you can smite ulti people. Smite ulti is so strong, but also having your flash up is really strong. This is why Cosmic Insight is really strong on Kayn. And then you have adaptive, and then health scaling. Generally just how a lot of champions want to play. Don't go the attack speed rune, it's not worth it. You get more damage by going the adaptive. Alright, and now we have the blue Kayn runes. So blue Kayn runes are going to be pretty straightforward as well. You're going to go for Dark Harvest. They buffed this a while back, but it's a really relevant buff now. Dark Harvest is really great. Sudden impact because you're using your dashers all the time. aka your Q. And then you can go for the Grizzly Mementos to get your Scanner up earlier, even your Yellow Trinket or your Blue Trinket later on in the game. But you can also go Sixth Sense if you're planning to invade a lot. This rune is great because it literally helps you invade permanently. So only go Sixth Sense if you are looking to invade level 1. Think about it. If you Q over the wall somewhere and you're doing a sneaky raptor invade, I do have a video on that. But if you're doing a sneaky raptor invade with Sixth Sense, you will see if they ward and they see you. If they don't see you, because your Sixth Sense tracks it, then you have a perfect invade on your hands. Treasure Hunter is great. You want that gold for more damage. Ulti Hunter can be useful some games. Let's say you know for a fact that in order to win the game, you need to snowball with your ultimates. I can argue going Ulti Hunter. The only problem is the Treasure Hunter gets you to your item completions a bit quicker, so you have to trade off. I'd say 80 to 95% of my games I'm going Treasure Hunter nowadays because lethality items are really cheap and I can snowball quicker with that bonus gold versus Ulti Haste. Now our secondary is going to be really straightforward, just like Red Kayn. You don't need boots early, you get 10 extra move speed, which is even better on Blue Kayn, and you get the extra 300 gold value. This is a great rune in general, and then the Cosmic Insight so we can smite earlier and have Flash. Flash on Blue Kayn is arguably even more important, so you can go for that 3 people are stacked together, Flash WQR, pentakill or triple kill. Alright, and then we want to go for our shards. We're going to go adaptive, and then HP scaling. Really straightforward. Don't go the attack speed. Alright, so for Red Kayn items, it's pretty straightforward, except for the pet can be pretty confusing. So let's break down the pets really quickly. Every single pet is actually pretty good for Kayn in different circumstances. Pretty much the red pet will help you deal more damage over time, and it's very strong because think about it. I'm going Red Kayn because I'm playing against bruisers and tanks, and the red pet deals more damage against people who have higher HP. So red pet's generally going to help with that. It's also nice because of the slow. So generally, if they're higher HP champions, red pet will be helpful. Now, here's the thing. If I were trying to snowball the game, or if I were trying to move around the map quicker because I'm the sole carry, I'd want to go the Gustwalker Hatchling. Personally, I'd probably go Gustwalker the least out of all my Red Kayn games. I actually really like the red pet or the green pet. The reason why I like the green pet is because it allows you to play a little bit more on the edge because you have that extra shield at the start of a fight that's going to give you more time to limit test. It's going to give you more HP, more room to mess around this fight. But personally, it's like, to me, I go red pet or green pet, but you can go blue pet every now and then if you know you need to travel the map quickly, get picks on side lanes, get camps ASAP so you can invade more, or so you can do things around the map. What should you do every game, Perry? Go for the red pet, you'll be happy. So our first item is going to be Voltaic Cycle Sword. You have 55 AD, 18 lethality, and 10 ability haste. You don't have any HP, but the big thing that's powerful is when you auto attack someone with your energized attack, you will deal more damage and slow them. This will help guarantee your Ws and guarantee auto Qs, and that's going to be very high value on that Kayn. And then your Qs as well will refresh your next energized attack. So this is just a really powerful item on Red Kayn. What happened is you need more damage to heal anyway, so this item is very powerful. I'd recommend it 99% of your games. As for our second item, it can be confusing. Do you go Black Cleave or do you go Shojin? I'll break it down real quick. If they are true bruisers on the enemy team, they're going to be stacking a lot of armor. If they're stacking a lot of armor, you want that Black Cleaver for sure every game all the time because you can break their armor. Now let's say they're building less armor, maybe a little more HP, or let's say they are even, let's say they're a little bit, like less tanky. The Shojin is a bit nicer because we're going to deal more raw damage because of the passive of Shojin, and you get your spells up a little bit faster because you have that 5 extra ability haste on your QWE. That's the way I would look at it. Generally speaking though, I would just go Black Cleaver. Black Cleaver is very solid. Now as for a third item going on, there's a lot of different items you can go really. Any bruiser item in the game is great. I'll briefly walk through these. Generally speaking, if they have magic damage champions, go for Spirit Visage. It's great. More healing, survive longer, gives you MR, more HP. If they are heavy on the 80 side of things, go Death Stance. You can survive longer. You can turn the damage they deal into percent damage over time, which is very broken. Death stance very strong on red Kayn. Even against some AP champions, you can go death stance, sit on a null magic, and then you'll be very tanky, you'll be unkillable. Now, let's say they have a lot of CC. Tenacity is really powerful. You get that from the Strenghts gauge. It's very, very strong to go. I like the Strenghts, especially if they have a lot of burst. But it's honestly not worth too much because you don't get that haste. Death Stance and Spirit Visage gives you that haste, which is great because you can Q more in these fights. Now, they have heavy burst and magic damage, let's say Veigar or Karthus. You can go the Maw as well. Again, that haste. Especially if you're snowballing too, you get that damage. It's really, really nice. And the last item, I don't always recommend this, but if you're snowballing Omega Giga hard, the Guardian's Angel can really help you maintain that snowball and really 1v9 the game. This Jake actually provides a pretty good amount of value. I wouldn't avoid this item too much, but it's just something that's there. Like, you can build that. I do want to highlight boots because I forgot to add those. So let's go to tab plated steel caps. You have plated steel caps, good against armor champions, and you have merc treads, good against magic damage dealing champions. I would say never go Ionian boots. It's always better to go mercs or the plated steel caps. If there are no good boots, both of them are terrible, let's say, then sure, go Ionian. Alright, so Shadow Kayn is a bit easier to understand the build. You're always going to go the Ghost Walker Hatchling. You want the blue pet to move around the map quicker. It's really straightforward. You're going to use your E to go through places. This will help travel even quicker. Now, our first item is literally always going to be Hubris. Sometimes, if you really want to, you can go Opportunity first or Yomu's first. But I'd say don't confuse yourself. Don't stress it. I go Hubris every single game. It's a very powerful item. It gets that snowball going. You get a few kills. You ramp up the damage you deal on Hubris. And you're pretty much going to be able to get an extra 700 to 1,000 gold of stats. Once you ramp up 2, 3, 4, 5 kills, it's a very broken item. You get an extra 1k scaling stats from just having this item. Now, our second item is really straightforward. It's going to be Opportunity. Opportunity is really cheap right now, and it also deals a lot of extra damage. Pretty much, if you are out of combat for 8 seconds, you will gain, I forget exactly how much lethality it is, but you gain bonus lethality. I think it's at least 10. And that means you're going to start off the fight with, again, an extra 1k gold worth of stats. So you blow them up. Now, this extra lethality only lasts for 3 seconds, but that's your full combo. You'll deal so much damage. I go these two items almost every single game. I pair them together. And once I have these two items complete, I have an extra kill on Hubris. So I'm getting plus 17, maybe 19 AD, depending on how many people I've killed. I have literally plus 1.7k gold worth of stats. I will start one-shotting people. As for our third item here, guys, you have a lot of different choices. I'd say generally, if you're against squishy-ish champions, I'm going Axiom Arc third every time, because anytime you have your ultimates, you kill someone. So you kill someone, and then you'll refresh your ulti cooldown with that Axiom Arc. I love Axiom Arc as a third item, especially if I'm snowballing. Now, here's the thing. If they're building more bruiser champions, let's say they're building a lot of HP, a lot of armor, you really want that Sorello's Grudge so you can deal with their armor. It also has that haste, so you can use your spells more, which is really nice. Sorello's, if they're building armor, really straightforward. Now, the next item would be Serpents. Serpents is very powerful. You can go third. You can even go with second if they have a lot of shields. Let's say they have a Lulu. Let's say they have a Karma. Let's say they have even like an Ambessa top lane. Let's say they have these champions that just have shields here and there. It's always great to go Serpent's Fang because this item, look at how much cheaper Serpent's Fang is compared to all these other items. It's a really cheap item, really powerful for that if they have shields, and it breaks their shields by a shit ton. No reason not to go Serpents if they have shield. And lastly, you want to go fourth Edge of Night normally. You technically can go Edge of Night third as well if they have a lot of kill threats. If they have a lot of ways of getting you and like just one-shotting you, like let's say you're just like, you don't want to get like CC'd by something immediately. Edge of Night is very powerful. Like let's say you're scared of like Malzahar just like flash ulting at the start of a fight. Okay, you can have Edge of Night and it prevents that. They have to adjust the way they play. The 250 HP also is very helpful from this item. I'd say generally go fourth or fifth. And lastly, guys, for boots, we want to go Ionian boots like literally every game. Don't go the bullshit mercs or Tabi or other weird shit I see. You want to use your spells more, go Ionian boots. Alright, so for Kayn combos and tips and tricks, I want to start off with auto attack Q. So what I see a lot of people do is they'll do auto attack and then Q like this. Seems like pretty normal. Okay, auto Q. Well, what you can actually do with the auto Q is you can push this really far by doing this. So you can see how the auto animation barely went off, and my Q's already casted. Here's what your Q's normally look like when I watch my students. Right, it's way too slow. What I'm doing is I'm literally auto queuing immediately. This will help clear your camps by a lot if you go auto queue immediately, right? Auto queue immediately versus some people who like to do auto queue or auto queue. Takes too long. The next thing I want to show you guys has to do with your queue is auto and queue into walls. Auto and queue into walls. If you auto and queue into walls, look at how fast that is. Your Q2 animation doesn't do the whole spin. Watch. Even that does the whole spin. But if I Q auto into the walls, the spin is much quicker. A lot of people don't fully seem to grasp this. One thing I also want to emphasize is if you are too far away from the camp or the enemy, and you Q, your Q1 won't hit. So you need to be like literally inside the enemy targets. Q, like auto Q. Auto Q. Okay, I'll see a lot of people stand back here, auto Q, and they miss it. You cannot miss those things. But again, don't auto Q. It's auto Q. Really fast. Okay, that's like most straightforward combo ever, but I see way too many people mess this up. Another thing I want to emphasize, guys, is you can use your E and then use your Q. And a lot of people don't understand that that will actually save them a lot of time. That will actually help them a lot. Like, let's say I'm Eing through here. I can Q into the wall and make it. Did you guys think I was going to make it there? I didn't even think I was going to make it there. But your Q sort of cheats you into the wall. Like, okay, let's say I just ran here. I'm never going to make it, right? It's too hard. But if I E from here, and then I Q into the wall, it's like, wow, I actually made that. What the hell? So this is how I'm able to abuse Kayn a little bit harder than you are. And now let's say this is the enemy here. And the enemy is running for me. And I'm chasing. I can use my E for some move speed, and then I might be able to make it in range. Because your E gives you 40% move speed. It doesn't matter if you're in the wall or not. You gain the move speed no matter what. So you'll pretty much gain the move speed for a little bit of time, 1.5 seconds, but it's okay. You end the spell early, it's okay. But you get that move speed to chase the guy. Boom, I can land my spells. Bada bing, bada boom. So the one red Kayn thing I want to emphasize is when you have your energized stacks from Voltaic and you auto Q someone, they will be slowed. So you want to make sure to abuse the fact that your auto Q slows, and it also refreshes a good bit of your next energized auto attack. But make sure you're abusing your autos and your Qs. Alright, so in a team fight, the real thing you're going to be doing on Kayn is you're going to be Eing into a wall, QWing, autoing, and then ulting, and then Qing, and then ult. Like, you're going to ult out. So it's like auto Q, W, ult, like auto attack, ulti, wait for it, okay, my Q's back up, auto Q, and then run away. And then you're waiting for all your spells to come back. That's what a fight normally looks like on Kayn. I can even argue sometimes, save your E, so you can do this, auto Q, walk backwards, auto W, auto Q, ult the guy, okay, scared, ulti away, E into the wall, Q into the wall, run away, escape. Either way really works, but the goal overall is push your limits with your ultimate, Q as many people as possible. There's not really true like Kayn combos on red Kayn. It's literally Q as many people as possible, W as many people as possible. Make sure you get your auto Qs off though. If you don't get your auto Qs off, you're missing out on a lot of damage. Alright, so on Shadow Kayn, the real big thing you're looking for is you're looking for little angles where you can look to W and then maybe Q flash and then full combo someone and you're happy. So the combo really comes down to landing your W and then flash Qing, or even just like this, land W, auto Q, ulti, get out of there. One way or another though, we want to land our W. So let's say they're all stacked up like back here, and I'm in the wall and I'm like, oh shoot, I see them. Flash W, Q, auto R. I did get my auto attack off in time, but you want to normally auto attack before you ultimate. I'm noticing that's what I do naturally. So let's do that one more time. It's like, oh shoot, I see them. Oh, you're trolling. I'm gonna do this. Auto Q. If you auto Q, you're not gonna have time for an auto attack before your ulti. Now let's do a different version here. Refresh this. They're all here. I'm gonna go flash W, Q, auto R, and then get out of there with my Q's back up, and then escape. And that's how you want to do it on the blue Kayn. Really, what you're looking to do on blue Kayn is just hit as many W's as possible. It's like, hello, I'm annoying, bye-bye. And then you do that again in 9 seconds. Hello, I'm annoying, and bye-bye. And it's just like so broken. And at some point, when they miss position or you're in a good position to do this, you all in and you absolutely destroy them, you win the game. Alright, so is Kayn a farming, ganking, or objective focused champion? Well, the thing is, Kayn is really a farming champion in the early game, and then once you have your item and your levels, and especially your form, that's when you want to start playing for objectives and playing for fights and playing for things. A lot of people get this wrong, and it's probably something I should have highlighted at the start, but if you're here and you're actually watching the guide, good for you. That means you care, that means you want to get better at the game. Here's the thing. You want to avoid fights early on Kayn, because as the game progresses, you get more orbs from fights. So the amount of orbs you get from a minute 3 fight compared to a minute 9 fight is drastically different. You get so much more from the minute 9 fight than the minute 3 fight. You can even fight a crap ton in the minute 3 fight. And you can fight for like 2 minutes, and you can fight for 10 seconds. And the minute 9 fight will literally give you the same amount of orbs. So don't fight early objectives. Don't fight too hard in the early game. You want to make sure you get to around 8, 9, 10 minutes into the game, and then you get your form. Okay? Because that's when you fight, that's when you have your item. That's when you can start playing for more objectives, for ganking, and etc. So I'll emphasize this, guys, please do not overdo it in the early game. Wait till the mid-late game to really do things. You really want to trade. Let's say they do the dragon, try to do the grubs. Let's say they invade your bot side, try to invade their top side. Let's say they kill your bot lane, maybe try to kill their top lane, or get top camps, get something. You don't win 1v1 fights too much. You don't want to match. You don't really win those skirmishes. Alright, so is Kayn a scaling or snowballing champion? I'm sure a lot of you guys can answer this yourself. Kayn is really trying to scale towards the mid-late game and absolutely 1v9 the game once you get your form. So the early game is very slow pace. The early game is really relaxed. Once you get your form, you perma-fight, you perma-force. Pretty much, Kayn really wants to get to that mid-game like I've been mentioning. You don't really need 6 item games. That's not amazing. Like, 2 late game, you're not that strong. You don't really only want 1 item either. You really want to go for 2 to 4 items in a game where you're getting a 3rd Drake fight or a 4th Drake fight, the Otacon fight, you're looking for Barons. You're really looking for a really explosive in the mid-game. In the early game, you're kind of just being stable, you're relaxing. Alright, so the next thing about Kayn is, are we teamfight or pick focused? Obviously, blue Kayn and red Kayn are going to be different. So I will go with blue Kayn first. You're obviously going to be really pick focused on the blue Kayn. You play to poke them, you play to chunk the enemies down, you go in walls, you throw W's from different angles, and you're really, really annoying. And at a certain point, you are looking to go for a massive, big play if they're grouped up. Otherwise, find the straggler, find the one guy, you chunk him, you ult away, you Q away, you live. Here's the thing about Kayn and Shadow Kayn in general, and just how people fight in general. Do not play to kill, play to chunk, play to get them to 20, 30% HP. You'll win the fight. Oh my goodness, the amount of players I've absolutely saved because they stop playing for the fight where they need to kill people to win, and they start seeing the bigger picture. Oh, if I full combo this guy, and I don't kill him, but I chunk their entire team to half HP or less, and I stay alive, I don't lose much HP, wow, they can't contest me anymore. Because they're low. So I need you guys to change the way you view winning fights. It does not mean killing the enemies at all. Now as for red Kayn's a bit easier. So red Kayn is still definitely chunk focused. You want to, team fights, you want to queue in, you want to hit as many people as possible, but at the end of the day, you do not want to put yourself in too dangerous of a position as that red Kayn. You are that front line for your team, but you don't overdo it. Unless they're mispositioned. Let's say they're 4-man knockup you can get. Sure, go for it. But you're really a slow bruiser fighter, where if they go in on you, it's actually not that bad. If you go in on them, it's good too. Ultimately though, like, the way you want to fight on red Kayn is like, you want to make sure you're just queuing as many people as possible while your teammates are with you. So let's really talk about the mindset during team fights. I was trying to get into this earlier, but realistically, this is the section for that. Are you really going in first or second? Here's the thing. Red Kayn can go in first. You can engage. You can go in if you really need to, but I generally recommend going in second or at least taking things slow. You don't want to overforce it, especially if you're trying to carry games. Blue Kayn, on the other hand, you realistically never engage. Ever, ever, ever. People get this wrong all the time. Oh, I'm Blue Kayn, I can start fights, I can go in. You don't actually want to do that. You want to poke them, you want to wait for the enemies to start a fight, and then sneaky rat over here while they're fighting over here, and you attack from the back. Surprise! That's the way you want to play. Blue Kayn is you're going in for that surprise attack. You're going in second. Red Kayn, well, you're in the middle of the fight and you're fighting, but you're going very slowly. Very important to go slowly. Who are you really focusing on Red Kayn? It's really obvious. You're hitting the front line. If you can get on the back line, great. You're good versus the bruises, you're good versus squishies, you deal so much damage. You need to hit someone on Red Kayn. You cannot get kited. That's the biggest problem with Red Kayn. You need to hit people. So as long as you see someone on your screen you can hit, you're fighting well. You're focusing well. Blue Kayn, on the other hand, you always want to go for the squishies, avoid hitting tanks and bruisers. Really straightforward. Our goal in fights on Red Kayn and Blue Kayn really is to just deal as much damage as possible while staying alive and being able to use our Qs back in, our Ws back in. Use as many Ws as possible. That's your goal in fights. Blue Kayn is the same thing, like both games are the same thing, just use your W as much as you can. Alright guys, let's briefly touch up on how to close games out. So really what you're looking to do to close the games is get all the objectives, get all those dragon fights, get those autocons, get the herald, get those turrets. Show up on the quadrants you want to control. I made a mid-game video, very, very helpful. I've seen a lot of people be like, wow, this actually is an eye-opener. The mid-game video is a big eye-opener for a lot of my students. Go watch that in the description box down below. Very, very, very important video for you guys to watch. Guys, take those drakes, take those heralds, take those autocons, take those turrets. You are a mid-game beast. You're mid-game, you're super strong. So take those fights in the mid-game. But let's say it's completely lost. Let's say all things are doomed. Your teammates are trolling. You need to trade around the map. You can't just fight to fight. If your teammates are weak, trade. What you're always trying to do in the mid-game as Kayn to close these games out is put yourself in positions where you have control of a quadrant and you're able to sneak attack them if they face check you. So Kayn likes to play for a lot of control around the map. And it's like, okay, some guy is going to come face check me. I'm going to chunk them, make them lose their entire HP bar, and then I can win the objective. That's how you want to fight and play and close games out on Kayn. So guys, this is pretty much the entire guide. I'm going to give some closing thoughts on Kayn. Just some raw, like, you know, what do I feel about Kayn? He's really shit without your ultimate. You're a very ult-reliant champion, and a lot of people fight without your ultimate. You look way weaker without your ult. I mean, you're obviously very weak in the early game, so I can't reiterate that enough. Perfect your early game, and you'll perfect Kayn. And another thing is, like, the mid-game, the early game, the late game, learn how to trade. Trading is a really key concept to League of Legends in general, but learning that on Kayn is also very, very, very powerful. And the last, like, really awesome thought is, like, poke on Blue Kayn. Poke, poke, poke on Blue Kayn. But yeah, guys, that's going to be my entire Kayn guide for the Perry's Jungle Kingdom guide series. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Comment who you want to see next. And I hope some of you guys decide to join the Jungle Kingdom, where you'll get even more higher value than this guide right here. Anyway, guys, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time.